saying welcome to Standout Coffee.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. How was your trip here? From where are you around Europe now, or like tell us everything. To start off, who are you? What do you do?
Well, who am I? So I'm Juliana, or Juliana, really. My family has been producing coffee for many generations. Myself, so obviously I'm Colombian, and I actually moved out of Colombia about 10 years ago. And, looking for a better life. It's not a secret that Colombia is a difficult country in many ways. And a lot of people do try to find a different way of life outside Colombia. So I think I've been one of those persons, and I left Colombia 10 years ago, and moved to Australia. And yeah, I was just looking for education and looking for new opportunities. And this is where like Cofinet started now. And yeah, it's just been a really interesting journey. And now Cofinet started about 10 years ago. So very rarely on my journey into Australia, Cofinet started. And I joined Cofinet just really a few months after it started. Yeah. So now I've been in coffee for 10 years.
Wow. So were you at the World Barista Championships in Melbourne 2013?
No, I just missed it.
Oh, you missed it. Because I did compete there.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that was way back, but that was a huge experience.
Yeah.
Huge experience. I think it was in 2023, or if it was early 2014. So 2013 or 2014, I don't know. Yeah. It was like almost over 10 years ago, and I'm getting old. So, but before that, Alexander competed in Bogota.
Nice.
In the Worlds. That was 2011, I think.
I just saw
Yes, it's getting very dusty now, but it was also an amazing experience, and also like what really started Standout Coffee, because back then, and I promise you to not talk that much about us, but quickly, we were looking at the World Barista Cup finals with the amazing competitors in there, and we asked ourselves like, where can we buy these kind of coffees? And that kind of thought went with both me and Alex during our careers in coffee. And yeah, 3 years ago we started Standout Coffee. That is like a competition driven brand.
Yeah.
So where do we want to start? You said 10 years in the coffee industry.
Yes.
Maybe before we go into what we're going to release as a competition subscription in a few days. It's been 10 years between that and when you started. So you went to Australia. What happened?
Yeah, so no, it's been an absolute journey. So so that the coffee started 10 years ago, but this whole thing started because in my generation, talking about myself, my sister, my cousins, we were always told, don't even bother with coffee, because it's not a secret also that producing coffee is challenging and it's not the most profitable business. And so making a living out of that, it's very, very challenging and difficult. And I think everyone knows that. It's so, and then that's what they tell your parents, because they want the best for you. And that's what we did. That's why I left Colombia. And that's why my cousins also left Colombia. They actually left Colombia a lot, like probably 4 years before me, maybe 3. And also in the pursuit of looking for a better life. And then, you go out with people. Hey, let's go for a beer. Hey, let's go to the movies. Let's go to a coffee shop. And then they started seeing what really a specialty coffee is on the other side, out of Colombia. Unfortunately, different, for example, very many European countries where they appreciate their own produce, they really appreciate the wines, for example. Colombia doesn't have that. Well, now it's changing a lot. But talking about 20 years ago, talk to the average Colombian, and many of them don't even know like what really good product we do have out of our own country. So this is looking back 15 years ago. And then they saw that and said, like, we have a really opportunity here to help our family and really make a change in the way our previous generation have lived. And so Felipe, who's one of my cousins, he went back to Colombia and he started managing the farms. and he started connecting with other beautiful producers in the country. Carlos, who's the brother, my other cousin, stayed in Australia with me.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how it started. Felipe did a lot of changes at the farms, and really was a journey, and it has been a journey for now 13 years, 14 years for them. And yeah, so that's where Cofinet started. That's what we do. And then, so our family farms, we have around 8 different ones in Quindío. And we have a processing center also in Quindío. And we always work with our aunties, our fathers, our mothers' farms, but never had one of our own. No. And that's where Hardas comes in.
Wow.
Where is this really true, I would say, representation of the hard work that we've done. The Felipe has done it, and Carlos as well. And yeah, so Hardas is a really, really special lot now. So this is a farm also in Quindío, and it's based in Pijao. And we only grow really rare varietals. So it's all the competition coffees. Yeah. And we grow very exotic varietals. So things like SL28, Red Geisha, this beautiful lot that you have right here right now. And yeah, so there is a lot of competitions that have been won by Hardas around the world, different countries.
Mention
I can't remember exactly which ones right now. I was trying to think about them, but they've been in the world stage, and they've been in national competitions as well for baristas and brewers. And the Red Geisha is one of those bangers that we have. People love it, and we are really, really proud of what we have accomplished. And you know, there is also this journey of we can grow really good coffees, but it also has to be perfectly roasted. Yeah. And it's this partnership that I think makes a whole difference when you're going to drink your cup of coffee.
Yeah. And just, I mentioned it quickly. I know we shouldn't like count likes and stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
But sometimes we put up stuff like, go drink coffee here, or do that. And we are so amazing. People, some of them like, some like don't care. But Alex posted about this competition lots going out as a subscription. And it has like twice the amount of likes than we usually kind of get on like normal posts on Instagram. So there's definitely something about you, what you do, and this coffee, and also the history of people competing with it. So it says washed geisha, but there's more than that, right?
Yes, there is more than that. And this one, I was telling you earlier, this one is a really, really special, unique one. Because in Hardas, we've always done natural coffees, because we try to impact the world in the least amount of possible in terms of like damage. Yes. So washed coffees usually tend to be like a bit more aggressive in the environment rather than naturals. So that's why we've always been producing naturals in our own farms. But now we have a new green filter in our processing center. So all of this is grown in Hardas and then processed out of a processing center in also Quindío, in La Pradera, not far away from where it's located, the farm. And there now we have a green filter. And then that's where we be able to reuse and really don't impact the environment as bad as it traditionally has been for washed coffees. And then this is the very first lots of Hardas washed coffees.
Yes.
So if you thought the naturals were absolutely amazing, the wash are also beautiful in the cup and also very environmentally sustainable. Yeah. So it really is a true gem.
In the text that we got from you guys, you talk about like a gentle washed. So is that what you talk about, like the green? You said something. Could you call it the green washing station, or what did you say?
Yeah. So it's basically when you wash the coffee, so you use a lot of water.
Yes.
So we try to be as gentle as possible when we are putting the cherries in the water. And also when you are, after they being depulped as well, being gently washed. So you still have those very properties that the coffee has in being very gentle on the way we treat the coffees. And it also is about craftsmanship and be better in any possible way, basically.
So sadly, we're going to roast, not sadly, but sometimes you feel it's like sadly. We have more, but we're going to roast it on Monday. or
Nice.
maybe Tuesday. So yeah, the competition subscription kind of triggers on the 1st of each month. So we have a bunch of pre-orders of new signups. But if you're like in the loop, that many people are now, we roast the coffee on like the 2nd or 3rd maybe, and then we kind of ship it right away. So yeah, we're so looking forward to this and many more to come. Do you want to speak a little bit more about Cofinet? And are you like sourcing coffees, shipping all around the world now? How does it work?
So in all of this journey of Cofinet, well, this one Jardines, you have Jardines del Edén. We also have another farm also called Jardines del Encanto. This one is 4 times the size of Jardines del Edén. And we also do only exotic varietals, very rare varietals. And so we're working with these coffees from our farms, but also coffees from our other family farms. But also we work with other producers. Because Felipe went in this journey as well of making a lot of changes at our own farms. Well, in the beginning, I still remember when my uncle Felipe was saying to him like, oh, you know what, you need to change this, you need to change that. And he on his own, generational thinking like, oh, you know what, I don't want to change. What are you talking about? But then finally we made that breakthrough of making those changes and improving the co-profile. And because he's been doing all of that, then now what he does is he teaches other producers on how to make those changes at their own farms and really have a better livelihood, which is what we were trying to accomplish in the first place anyway.
That is truly amazing. And we really, from our small point of view back in cold Sweden, I think we see changes coming like globally now, where someone really unlocks the door to make amazing coffees. It could be like on all levels. And usually it comes, I think, with knowledge of course, like how to manage the farm, but then processing. And you can really, with the help of your brother and your team and yourself, like when you say you help neighbors, I think it's amazing because in the end, we all want to drink like super good coffee.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And we want everyone to have like a nice life. And because I think a lot of farms, also a lot of roasters, they have everything in front of them, but they maybe doesn't really have the knowledge. So I think when we saw it, my first encounter with that was when we were in Panama and we saw kind of the close team in Boquete really like helping each other with processing back in 2013. And they were like, yeah, from the beginning, we have been really open in how we do stuff with a selected amount of friends and families and farms. And in the end, there's not enough good coffee in the world. So I think it's super good that you kind of help out and show them. Could be like, skip washed, just do naturals. Because it maybe tastes more, it wins more competitions, and you can definitely get more paid for it per kilo if it tastes good.
Yeah.
And I think that's super good what you're doing. It's
Thank
amazing.
You so much. Thank you. It's been I feel really proud of what we have accomplished. Obviously the leading force of this has been always Felipe and Carlos, but there is a whole team outside that. It's myself has always been there. A lot of people outside in different countries that have been doing an amazing job. And of course the people in Colombia and the beautiful team that we have there now today that really help us to make a difference in our own operation and other people's lives too.
Something that's maybe not as fun is like climate change and environmental changes and stuff. How much does it affect you? Because we read about it from here, but we can't like, I have one single coffee plant in here and it's, it's like looking.
It will grow.
It was actually Maurizio Sciatta was here for a podcast and he was like, we need to prune it. And then he like went up and he cut it down because it kind of, and I don't know. It's not dead. It's been around for many years now. So yeah. How does it look? How much does it affect you and the farm and everything? Like
it affects everyone, and it affects us massively on the way now we have to. I think that's what the future will look like, because it just makes the processing a lot more harder. And it also makes the harvest a lot more harder, taking care of the trees a lot more harder. And this also obviously impacts the crop quality, impacts the volume that you can produce out of your farms, and therefore affects the prices. So it affects you, and it affects the end consumer too. So I think everyone gets really highly impacted by it. And to be honest, I think the next few years it's going to be a race for the producers on what are you going to do about to make sure that your crop is protected. Because also the thing is like if you start doing like fertilizers and start doing all this chemical stuff in your own farm, then that's going to be counterproductive, isn't it? Then you're going to impact the environment even more. So I think now a lot of people are trying to focus more on being a lot more sustainable and trying to protect your own crop. Maybe even sometimes I've seen other producers changing the varieties that they grow out of their own farms because it's like this is just not going to survive. So I need to start doing something else. So I think some lots are going to be even rarer and rarer in the future.
Is there anything good coming out of it? Like maybe producers has been doing like only Caturra, something like that, and now they need to push in more varieties at the farm to make like don't put all the eggs in one basket kind of thing. And maybe I don't know if there's anything, because us as a like super geeky roastery, we love to like have different varieties from one farm and stuff like that. I don't know if there's anything good coming out of it, but maybe a not monoculture, like more varieties at one farm. Hopefully that's something good coming.
No, I think that the thing is always, it will be within our power as a human race of be more in tune with our own environment. So I think that's going to be the necessity, or it's going to be the end of it, that we're going to find ways of being more friendly with the environment, finding more ways of coexist together. And so the environment has been taken care of, and therefore the environment will take care of us in the future. But that will only happen if we do make changes in the way we live today. And that affects the farms in many different ways around the world. And obviously coffee, it's not an exception. And we just need to find a way of making it as sustainable as possible, protect the environment. So things change in the future. And then I think that will be the good thing out of it. We're going to be more in tune with the environment. Let's see.
Beautiful said. Just gonna see. So looking forward to this coffee, and super nice that you're here.
I'm so glad. It's been it's always so good to be here. I love Stockholm and I love Sweden.
You have some nice weather. I saw in the beginning of the podcast you had like sun in your eyes, but now it's like
I actually like absolutely love it. You guys have a beautiful food, beautiful architecture, beautiful culture. So I'm really happy to be here.
And if you're lucky, beautiful weather.
So I don't know how long it will last.
Maybe today at least.
Nice.
How long are you staying?
To me. I'm leaving tomorrow. So just I arrived about like 2 days ago. Got the chance to go to Gothenburg for 1 day. That was also amazing. And came back yesterday, just here for one and a half days more.
But where are you based now? You're not based in Australia, right?
No, I actually did move. So I moved out of Colombia 10 years ago, moved to Australia, lived there for 10 years. And then I just been relocated to Bristol in the UK. And I've been there now for 6 months. And very happy to be here because I'm more within. I think we've done an amazing work in Australia. And if you don't, have you ever been to Australia after?
No.
Hopefully you get to go. But you'll see like what I think what we've done in Australia and the impact that we have created in the industry there, and we want to replicate that in other countries, other continents, and obviously Europe. We do want to keep growing here and be part more of the community. And so that's what we're trying to accomplish. So now maybe me being here, we can replicate what we have done, connecting with people that we've always wanted to. And
and it's going to be amazing to send the coffee out. And also I quickly show you like the orders from this morning. There's like, if you pick 10 of them, there's by rule almost 10 different countries. So I don't know how many countries this will go out, but I guarantee you it's like 50 plus. So it would be like a huge spread, which is super cool to give this coffee and the producer's name and the farm and what you do to so many like clients. And that's one of the small things that I think we at Standout can do when we had this, like, I call it a small global reach, but we hit coffee consumers in so many countries now. And that, I think in the long run, that will make changes also for farmers, because their name gets in hands in countries that probably never had their coffees. So it's going to be super exciting. It's getting tougher and tougher to get all the orders out during subscription weeks.
That's a good problem.
Yes, it's a good problem. So I think we're going to wrap it up. Just a quick thing, please. This is going out on YouTube. So if you have any friends, follow us, hang out, subscribe and all that stuff. How do we find you guys in the best way? Cofinet?
You can find us through Instagram. So it will be Cofinet, is COFI, and then
I link everything. I'll link everything.
NET. That's how you can find us. Yes. Or you can also find us at Hardiness Varietals in Instagram. So please do follow us as well.
We will.
And well, thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes.
For having this chat with me and for doing the amazing work that you guys are doing. I think you're one of the best ones out there.
Oh, thank you so much.
Congratulations on what you're doing.
Cool. Let's try some more coffees.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Do like this. Boom.
Cheers.